Hello dear students. So now we will move on to definition 2.4. Sorry, we will start with definition 2.3. So in the last class we have seen what we meant by a one-one onto function. So now we will see definition 2.3, which says that if there exists a one-to-one mapping of A onto B. So A onto B means the mapping F that we are talking about is one-to-one. It means that distinct elements will have distinct image, and it is onto. Onto means every element in B will have a pre-image in A. So if these two conditions are satisfied, then we say that A and B can be put into a one-to-one correspondence. It means that corresponding to each element in A, there is a unique element in B. Corresponding to each element in A, there is a unique element in B. So when you list the elements of A, you can exactly say that corresponding to one element, there is exactly one element in B. Okay, then we say that A and B are in one-to-one correspondence, or they will have the same cardinal numbers. Cardinal number means the number of elements that are present in a set. Or we also say that A or B are equivalent, and we write A is equivalent to B. So if A and B are finite set, then if there is a one-to-one correspondence between A and B means the number of elements in A or the cardinality of A should be equal to the cardinality of B. Okay, sets should not be equal, but their cardinality should be equal, because the function is both one-one and onto. Otherwise, you cannot define a function. Okay, so if there is three elements in one set, then there should be three elements in one set. Then we can define a one-one onto relation from these two sets. So we can say that A and B are then in one-to-one correspondence. Okay, and we say that A is equivalent to B. So if there is A is equivalent to B, or if there is a one-to-one correspondence between A and B, then that sets will have some nice properties. They are called the equivalence relation. So first one is reflexive. The relation is said to be reflexive if it is related to itself. A relation is said to be symmetric if A is related to B implies B related to A. A relation is said to be transitive if A related to B and B related to C, then A should be related to C. So if these three properties are satisfied, we say that the relation is an equivalence relation. I think you are familiar with all these terms. Okay, we are just revising it. So such a relation is called an equivalence relation. For example, you can take a set of parallel lines. Okay, so if you consider a set of parallel lines, then every line is parallel to itself. If A is parallel to B, then B should be parallel to A. Okay. If A is parallel to B and B is parallel to C, then A should be parallel to C. So these three conditions are satisfied. Or you can take the set of similar triangles. So a set of similar triangles if you take, then also we have the same thing. Okay. So they are equivalent. And whenever there is an equivalence relation, that relation will produce an equivalence classes. You must have studied this. So equivalence classes will be there, and union of these equivalence classes will give you the whole set, and the intersection will be empty. Okay, so these are all very basic things: one-to-one correspondence, equivalence relation, and their corresponding properties. Now we will see the definition 2.4 also. So here we will denote Jn to be, usually we used to denote it by set of all integers, we used to denote it by I, but here we will denote it by Jn. So Jn usually from now onwards Jn will denote the integers starting from 1, 2, 3, etc. up to n. So Jn is this set starting from 1, 2, 3, etc. n. And J will denote the set of all positive integers. So J will always denote set of all positive integers. Set of all positive integers. So Jn is finite, J is infinite. Okay. So it contains set of all positive integers. So this set is actually 1, 2, 3, etc. It goes on like this. It contains set of all positive integers. Now we say that, so we note that Jn is finite, okay, and J is infinite. So this is a finite set and this is an infinite set. Now we say that A is finite if A is equivalent to the finite set Jn for some n, and that n will denote the number of elements of A. Okay, so equivalence means there is a one-to-one correspondence from A to Jn. So if A is a finite set means it will have finite number of elements. Then we say that A should be have a one-to-one correspondence with set of all integers for some finite n. Okay, and this n will denote the number of elements of A. Okay, so for example, if A is a set with number of elements as 5, then A will be equivalent to what will be the answer? J5. Okay, J5 will contain the elements 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So since this set has 5 elements and J5 has 5 elements, we can always define a one-to-one correspondence from A to J5. So whenever I say a finite set, it means that the idea should come into your mind is that there is a one-to-one correspondence with Jn for some n. Now if I say A is infinite, by saying A is infinite, what I mean is A is not a finite set. Now if A is infinite, there are two possibilities. A can be countable or uncountable. Now if A has an equivalence with J denotes a set of all positive integers, then I say that A is a countable set because we can count these numbers. Okay, so now onwards, whenever I say A is a countable set, it means that A has a equivalence relation, or it is equivalent to J. J is a set of all integers. It contains 1, 2, 3, etc. And we know that set of all integers is countable. We can count it. Okay, so it means that whenever a set is countable, there is a function from A to J which is both one-to-one and onto. Okay, if I say A is uncountable, it means that either A is it is not countable or it is not finite. Okay, by uncountable here we mean that it is either not finite or it is not countable. When I say A is at most countable, it means that A is either finite or countable. So the terms are very important. At most countable means it is either finite. If it is finite or countable, we use the term at most countable. So when I say A is a finite set, it means that there is a function f from a to jn which is both 1 to 1 and on to for some n, and that n will denote the number of elements in A. So when I say infinite set, it means you have to only understand that A is not finite. That is, there is no one-to-one correspondence with Jn for some n. Whenever I say A is countable, it means that you have to understand that there is a function from A to set of all integers j, which is 1, 1 and on to. Now when I say A is uncountable, it means that either it is not finite or it is not countable. ഒന്നില്ലെങ്കിൽ finite അല്ല, അല്ലെങ്കിൽ അത് countable അല്ല. അങ്ങനെയാണെങ്കിൽ uncountable. When I say A is at most countable, okay. So it means that either A is finite or it is countable. Okay, countable ആവുക അല്ലെങ്കിൽ അത് finite ആണെങ്കിൽ എന്തായാലും countable ആണ്. Okay, finite ആവുക അല്ലെങ്കിൽ countable ആണ് എന്ന് പറഞ്ഞാൽ jn ആയിട്ടുള്ള 1-to-1 correspondence ഉണ്ടാവുക അല്ലെങ്കിൽ j ആയിട്ട് 1-to-1 correspondence ഏതെങ്കിലും ഒന്നാണെങ്കിലും നമ്മൾ അതിനെ at most countable എന്ന് പറയും. Okay, jn ആയിട്ട് കറക്റ്റ് ഒരു 1-to-1 correspondence ആണെങ്കിൽ നമ്മൾ അതിനെ finite എന്ന് പറയും. j ആയിട്ടാണെങ്കിൽ നമ്മൾ അതിനെ countable എന്ന് പറയും. Okay, അപ്പോൾ ഈ ടേംസും ഡെഫിനേഷൻസും അറ്റ് മോസ്റ്റ് കൗണ്ടബിൾ ചില ടെക്സ്റ്റിൽ വേറെ ഡെഫിനേഷൻസ് ആയിരിക്കും, ചെറിയ വ്യത്യാസങ്ങൾ ഉണ്ടാവും. പക്ഷെ നമ്മളിപ്പോൾ പ്രിസ്ക്രൈബ് ടെക്സ്റ്റിൽ എന്താണോ ഡെഫിനേഷൻ അത് തറോ ആയിട്ട് പഠിക്കുക, അത് തന്നെയായിരിക്കും നമ്മളിവിടെ ഫോളോ ചെയ്യുക. Okay, so we will stop here. Thank you.